Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Prismata. We are 2 wins in on our ranked play ticket. Let's jump in the queue. We might run into M. Sven, who has been streaming for several hours now. He said, I think, trying to, he was coming real close to reaching his lifetime highest rating, and so he wanted to see if he could catch it on stream. I don't know what that highest rating is, but as I understand it, he's been having a rough night of it, and probably will not be doing that today, but I'm not sure. Wow, 22-22. What? I thought like 2150 was the highest anybody had gotten. Maybe. I'm not sure. Because I see a Pooch is above that also, and there's several people who are close, so I'm probably wrong that 2150 was the high score. Alright, what's going on? Kind of a quiet night. M. Sven was begging people in the stream, please jump in the queue so I can play. I guess we'll watch him against JR Kirby a little bit. I don't really savor the thought of facing either of these guys, so I'd like to see I'd like to find out that the game is not close to over. What is this, Apollo nonsense? Apollo Deadeye? What a game. This guy has a lot more attack, it seems like, right? M. Sven does? What exactly is JR Kirby's advantage? He has a few more drones, I guess. But, yeah, no, this game's over, right? Oh, bad news. We're gonna have to play one of these guys. Oh no, we got the other game finished just before. Alright, we get to play someone from like tier 8, I think it was. Okay, looks kind of big econ-ish, right? Just because of Centurion, basically. Tatsu sort of threatens to counter that, but... You also try to go for Thunderhead? Like with Synthesizer is kind of a big deal. And then switch into Centurion later. There's a lot of like complicated, here's some tech that gives you different tech options here. I don't know, is Tatsu enough of a counter to Centurion that I shouldn't go for it? I don't think so. Now this is interesting. My opponent hasn't cut a drone to go Doom Drone NG, which is something you generally should do if you want to go high econ with Doom Drone in the set as player 2. And you don't want early green. But here I think all of those things are true, so I would expect him to do that if he's going high econ. So this suggests he might not be, although he might also just like not have thought it through. The thing is, Arms Race is also a bit rushy, but it's like just... Arms Race is a good thing to get on your way to Centurion, right? Maybe I'm just gonna not go super heavy into drones. Like, not get them all at once, but do eventually get a lot of them. I'd like to try... What? Why are we doing this? What's with the early blue? Help! I guess it's for... Synthesizer into Thunderhead? Question mark? What do we do about that? Because any other follow-up from this seems ridiculous to me. So we want to be prepared for Synthesizer Thunderhead. Which he could have out in... Next turn he builds Synth, turn after that he builds Conduit, turn after that he builds a Thunderhead. So I think what we want from this is many arms races, because the engineers won't do him any good if he has a Thunderhead soaking up all the damage. So given that, how do we get to arms race from here? I think AC1? This is like ridiculously low econ, given that I thought I was going kind of high econ. But my opponent is doing something fairly extreme that I think I have to react to a little bit. Anyway, and from this we'll build, like, I don't know, Tarsier Ferretin Sack Blast Forge, and then we should be able to get a double Arms Race to turn fairly soon thereafter. I'm not very happy with how I'm doing this. So, yeah, Synthesizer, sure, Doom Drone, okay. So now next turn I can get Blast Forge, or Arms Race plus something red, which could be a Ferretin Sack or not. And it now occurs to me double Arms Race turns are completely out of the question. This Ferretin Sack is probably a bit silly. There's nothing else I can really do with the tech, so... Yeah, I have a bit too much tech, don't I? But I think we really do need to do something extreme like this. Given, anyway, that we cut for Conduit and Animus. I think I have to follow through, even though I'm now sort of realizing it was sort of half-baked. He looks extremely like he wants to get Thunderhead, right? No. What? Shouldn't this be a Conduit? I don't get it. I think an Arms Race will bully him into not attacking with the Steel Splitter, so I'm going to go ahead and not defend that. Just build like Arms Race Tarsier. This is such a dumb build. What am I doing? 10 drones? I don't know. He might just build a wall and block on Steel Splitter. But if he does, I guess that's life, right? Okay, so he's countering with Arms Race as well. We're similar on drones, but we're up quite a bit on attacker tempo. Can I really get another Arms Race here? I'm floating the Ferretin Sack. I'm just a little tiny bit short of being able to build a wall. I could click it and build a Tarsier, of course, but that's a bit silly, isn't it? I think I'll just drone up. Float the red. Apologize to Prismata players everywhere. And I believe we are not clicking this. Yeah, it does 1 damage to him and like 2 damage to me. So that's not a trade I'm interested in taking. And I don't want to build a Ferretin Sack again. Like, I already have more blue than I can... well, I don't know. With Arca and walls in the picture... Oh, hang on. Let's count Arca out, right? 3, 4, 5, 7. Totally on purpose. Yeah, so I actually might want a Ferretin Sack here. Next turn I can, like, Arca plus Tarsier or something? And he won't be... Actually, he'll be prepared to counter Arca if he needs to, won't he? 2... And these will be coming in as 5... 2, 4, 5. And assuming he builds 2 more attack in the next 2 turns, he will be able to counter Arca. So maybe that's unrealistic, but I'd like to have it as a threat in case he forgets to build for it. Okay. Well, he figured it out. Fine. Well, we're just not going to do it then, so there. Oh my gosh, what if I got an Apollo? I couldn't do it this turn, but on a future turn? I think it's so bad. so bad to do that, but wouldn't it be fun? 1 Blast Forge, double Ferritin Sack, Apollo. I think it would be fun. Next turn, though, we can Arms Race plus Wall, so that's kind of cool. It means I can attack with the Steel Splitter. Keep developing attack. Although, to do that, I'll have to not hold the Doom Drone back, which sort of decreases the wall value a fair bit. Yeah, 7. I shouldn't have let myself get so caught up in what my opponent was doing with this early Blast Forge. I think that this journey I've embarked upon is not a good one, and I did it for kind of silly reasons. Ooh. I wish I had enough drones to do that. Ah, boy. Like, what do I even have here? I have nothing, right? I mean, I can get first Arca and have it be sort of not that bad. No, I can't even do that. It's just bad. I don't really see what there is for me to do other than just like build more arms races and hope it works out. I have the lead in engineers. That's something. Yeah, I mean, that Arca's not so great, right? I guess my counter Arc is not great either, so there's that. Because, like, the 7 damage he spent was actually killing 7 engineers, right? The problem is if I build an Arc up, mine will have the same problem. I'm right now killing these 7 guys, a wall and 4 engineers. And if I Arca, I'll kill nothing. But I don't think I have much choice. Arca's just a good unit, and this is my first opportunity to get it. Just too few drones for what I was trying to do. This is something I do a lot still. Well, I often end up getting about the right number of drones, but I don't really plan it out ahead of time. I just sort of like stop when it feels about right, and I want to build attackers. And I'm not always right in judging when I should build attackers. If I were counting like how much tech I'm gonna need to spend to get the attackers I want, and like how much money that's gonna cost me, I would do a better job with this. Yeah, this is just awful. Should really be rhinos at this point, right? Sure, I wouldn't mind building double wall someday. Yeah, but like I'm on 8 drones and he's on 11. And he has way more access to blue than I do because of his synthesizer. He can have like triple blue every turn forever, more or less. But like He's holding back Steel Splitters because I'm threatening to breach otherwise. I think that I will soon suffer the same fate, is my problem. Right, I'll have to also hold back Steel Splitters. Because I can't really click the Arca, right? I don't think. I could try. I'm glad he's spending his green on, like... He basically turned 3 green into 1 blue because he floated one of them. And green is really good at this stage because of force fields. So I'm glad to see him doing that. Okay. So he's not offering me a breach, and it's a pretty weak play for me to even, like, kill the Steel Splitter here. Yeah, see, I have to do this. And then I'm, like, never even spending this Ferritin Sack. I'll never have enough money to spend all that blue. What if I don't click the Rhino? Defend with that instead. Then I'm losing an attacker. Which was killing like an engineer probably, right? 6, 12, 14, 15? No. So... Or wait, yeah, 15. So this click kills an engineer. That's right. I don't think it's worth it for me to do that. To like... I think it's important to kill the engineer, even if it means I have less money. Because I defend with these guys. And they might well not die. He's not really going to attack with everything. Unless I let him breach. And so then I can probably actually build the 2 walls next turn. If I don't hold back a Doom Drone. Ugh. I mean, 6 drones is not enough. Really ought to be force fielding here, not just building walls, I think. Well, no, he can build walls and hold back Steel Splitters, I guess. Yeah, I mean, almost anything he does wins, right? I can't replace 14 defense next turn. If I attack like this, he has to lose at least 1 attacker. Yes, that is true. So he's attacking for at most 19. I guess I'll try this. But this is sort of my make or break turn, and I think he can just, like, in the worst case, triple force field, hold a bunch of drones to survive. And probably he can do something better than that. If I ever get to breach the Arca, I think that's, like, pretty close to being game over. It's hard... Well, the problem is, if I breach the Arca, it's going to have to be by me clicking my Arca and then basically not defending, which means he'll get through and kill a bunch of Tarsiers, so... might actually not be that great. It won't be the game-winning thing that I'm claiming it would be. But, you know, he's having to hold quite a bit. We'll see. Really, Ferritin Sack? I think it's too late. You're not going to be able to spend 2 blue ever again. You're just sort of investing $1 in eventually getting $1, which is a pretty bad deal. So, Here we are then, huh? This way, does he lose any attackers? He doesn't have to. If he wants, he can keep everything alive, and he will. Then he could counterattack and murder my Arca. Can I really afford to not build this wall and defend with drones instead? Like, that's the only other option I see. I could click this and force field it, I guess. Pretty poor value. But in a way, it converts the Doom Drone and a drone into 2 health. Is that good? No, it converts them into 2 health and $1. Which is slightly better than holding them both back. It doesn't seem very good to me. So what if I tried to defend without doing that, right? It would look like this. Well, this is just a worse spot, I think, right? Because I just have 2 drones left after all this happens. Whereas if I click this guy and build the wall, I have 4 drones left. So this looks better for sure. I guess the only advantage I have right now is like 2 Tarsiers, right? Everything else is in his favor. He has more splitters. He has more drones. He has more green. He's attacking with the Arca. That's interesting. Okay, no, I didn't think so. Well, he's having some trouble here. Like, I still think it's true that I'm completely lost. I think that if he plays correctly, I just can't win here. But he might give up. He might offer me a gambit thinking I can't take it, and I honestly think he would be right. But maybe I could take one somehow. So, like, if I do this, how bad is it? It seems pretty bad, right? He breaches for 11. So what this means is that, like, I have to hold back Steel Splitters to protect Arca. And if I'm doing that, how am I winning? Like, what does 12 attack do to him? It kills everything but the 2 Steel Splitters, basically, right? And obviously the Arca. So he'll be able to do this same thing, more or less, again next turn. Except he will have killed some of my Steel Splitters. He lost a splitter. Interesting. That was some... I didn't think that was the direction Q would defend in. It had a choice of losing 2 force fields or losing splitter. And obviously 2 force fields are worth less health. But I think you'd rather keep the splitter because it can attack. But I guess on the other hand, if you're just defending with the splitters anyway, they're sort of just walls, in which case it's obvious to lose the wall. Yeah. He can just hold enough Steel Splitters forever, right? Okay, fine. Let's get out of this game. What a shameful mess this was. Like, I thought this was enough to go for high econ, like kind of an arms race into Centurion thing, and I just didn't really do that at all. I was so blown out of the water by my opponent opening Blast Forge that I went for this like totally outrageous opening that I thought would somehow counter it. Like get enough arms races and he can't build Thunderhead. Sure, maybe that's true. Maybe it worked. He didn't get Thunderhead after all. But he can just do like a higher econ, better arms race thing than me. Like low econ arms race is not a thing. And I just didn't really think about how low my econ was going to be if I cut like this. I need to think more carefully sometimes about, as I said during the game, my expected drone numbers, and also about like what will happen when I cut drones to build tech buildings. Just in like the general sense, what will happen next? And here it's sort of obvious that like nothing good is the answer. I don't know, a bunch of stuff happened, but none of it really mattered. I was just like had completely the wrong approach to the whole game. That's kind of a sad loss. If I'm correct that the guy was, I mean he played well in the mid game when he was already ahead. Aside from some maybe questionable, what are they called? Ferret and sacks? Which I forget. He may have actually chosen not to eventually build. I don't remember for sure. Oh, I know this guy. He's on the Discord. Whoa. Deadeye, Savior, Galvani, Centrifuge, and Odin? What a weird set. What do you do here? I don't think you can go Savior. Deadeye is just gonna snipe the hell out of you. You could try rushing for Odin. There doesn't seem to be any compelling counter to that. And you could maybe get a Deadeye after that? That seems like a bad idea. Well, also, you probably want to Centrifuge into Odin, right? You don't want to like build triple blue, you just want to build a blue. This is not an opening. This is not a thing that is done. It doesn't make sense compared to just building 2 drones. Does it? What? What? Okay, thank you. Okay, hang on. So yeah, if you want to get Odin, when do you get the Centrifuge? Centrifuge costs 5 and gives you 3. Like it takes, and you want to build like some Tarsiers on that same turn as well. So you need 1,000,000 drones. Gosh, Centrifuge is really weird now that it gives you like $3 instead of $9. Maybe you just don't Centrifuge into the Odin because you need more. It's already hard enough to spend 3 blue on a single turn. It just makes it harder to build 4 red, 2 red, I mean. And what was I saying? It's not like a big imposition to spend all your blue after an Odin rush here because you can build Deadeyes sort of cheaply. Now he's going to try to Centrifuge into the Odin. You have to float a lot of gold to make that work, I think, if you build the Centrifuge this early. Maybe that's playable. Is it faster than... Well, it probably is faster than the like traditional Odin rush, right? You just have so few drones at the end of it. It seems to me. So I don't know. I'm just gonna try going for the standard like player 1 Odin thing, and if this Centrifuge gets out a good Odin in time to stop that, then I'll have learned something. Huh. I think a drone would have been better, right? No, you couldn't afford the drone. A Galvani, though, is still, I think, better. Yeah, he's gonna have to build a Blast Forge next turn, which leaves him with $9. And then he has 13 income if he does nothing. That's 22, so he can only build one drone next turn to just squeeze out the Odin and nothing else. On the other hand, it does seem pretty hard for me to defend an Odin rushed out in that way, right? Oh, he can build 2 drones. I counted wrong somehow. Oh, and a Galvani, of course. This is horrible. I can't even actually rush out the Odin because I have to react to this Odin getting here faster. I knew that, like, with Centrifuge you could get it out faster. It just didn't seem like it would be good, but it actually kind of, now that it's happening, feels really, really bad for me. I don't even know what to say. Steel Splitter probably is better than Wall here. If I do this, I can't build the Odin. I can counter Odin this way. But is counter Odin good? Usually it's not. What's my advantage? I have another drone and a lot more tech. He's gonna have a 15 drone Odin with 1 Blast Forge. Right? And so it's going to be a little bit hard for him to actually attack with everything and defend his Odin. I'm going to try this. See how it goes. I don't have much choice at this point, but... Right, like, he's going to have trouble actually attacking is what I'm getting at. With, like, most of his stuff. He can breach for a bunch of drones if he wants, but then I'll be breaching him as well for a lot. Maybe a little bit less because he can build a wall. I don't know. But he can only build 1. I can... What?! Okay, he's just messing with me. There you go. Fine. But he can take this turn to drone to Blast Forge up, and then I don't know where we are, but huh? Yeah, it should be at least a Steel Splitter, right? I think it's worth me clicking my Odin to get all this stuff, right? I can just build a few walls in front, like he's attacking for 7 again. Build, well, 3 walls, I guess, which I can just barely do on my $17. And I do need to build all of these. I can't just, I mean, I don't know. I could hold a drone instead to defend the wall and then build a Steel Splitter, I guess. Doesn't seem that great. I'd like to have some granularity next turn as well. This shut off his Galvanis, it killed his granularity. Yeah, I guess there is that, huh? Well, I'm feeling behind. But it's actually not that bad, I think. Right? I think the transition into Deadeyes is natural for both of us, and I did predict it before the set happened. I'm not just mirroring his. This is when I finally got the break I needed to be able to build a Deadeye. I have a bit more defense up, whereas he has a bit more... He has a lead in drones and Deadeyes, sort of. I wonder if this Galvani should have been an engineer to let me build more drones. I don't know. I don't want to have more than one Galvani, that's for sure, because right now... Oh, even one was a mistake. He can just click it for free and kill it, because all his attacks do nothing. So this was sort of a mistake. I just spent $1 for no reason. What if I build an Animus here? That's crazy, right? Yeah, that's crazy. Okay. 2 more splitters? I could click the Odin. This costs him wall NG. Doesn't seem like good value. Yeah, I think I'd rather have the 2 steel splitters than a Deadeye. Punching through his engineers is kind of important. And he's not building any more defense, so now I can actually kill just about all of his frontline defense and make him stop building steel splitters and Deadeyes. I don't know, his Deadeyes are going to be available on defense just about when he needs them. Maybe a little bit late. It'll be awkward for him to defend for just like a single turn. Is Deadeye Drone really a good idea? I think it is. He's taking out my economy, so I can't build a bunch of steel splitters, but I can still build Deadeyes, and they're still decent. If he's defending with steel splitters, and I'm clicking Odin, I think I'm happy. I don't know. His Deadeyes are definitely taking a toll, of course. But soon he won't have any real attack, and I won't have any real economy, I guess, so... Could go either way on that one. I think I need to press my luck, not my luck, my advantage of having more attackers, rather than trying to take out these drones. It's just a little... is it too slow? Yeah. I think next turn we probably aren't going to be clicking the Odin, because he's built a lot of preemptive defense with these engineers and this Deadeye coming off. So maybe I'll try 1 Deadeye here. Stacking for 7 versus 6 is not really a big difference. I don't know. But I'm certainly happy with clicking the Odin that turn. It traded my Steel Splitter for his, like, Steel Splitter plus NG. now we're attacking for 6. Alright, I just sort of felt like giving him the savior treatment as well. Alright, good emote, good answer. You got me. And now he's attacking for probably 5, which is just like what, Deadeye onto Odin. If he attacks for 9 instead... Oof, I feel way behind suddenly, actually. Like, he caught up in Steel Splitters all of a sudden, and I can't build more. And I'm not putting on enough pressure because his Deadeyes are defending. Not putting on enough pressure to do anything, that is. Let's try something like this. Am I clicking Odin? If I do, it shuts off a Galvani drone as well as like killing 4 health worth of stuff, so that's nice. And he hasn't built any like preemptive engineers this turn, he just has the 1 Deadeye getting ready to defend. But he can build walls. Like, walls are pretty good. I can't build them anymore because I don't have any money. I have some lying around though, which is nice. You know, I've got that going for me. This is interesting. It sort of tells him, yeah, go ahead, click your Odin to kill my engineers. I dare ya. Although I don't think it's a good dare, right? Like, even if he just clicks all his Steel Splitters, that's killing 1 NG. So maybe something like this is a little bit more modest and reasonable. This he might not be able to punish too hard. Does he really want to build another wall? No, he doesn't. He's holding a drone instead. Okay. I mean, I think I'm clicking Odin again. And I'm aware that, like, this is costing me my Steel Splitters. But I don't really see what choice I have. If I don't pressure him, I'm losing, right? So... yeah, and so now, what is the deal here? He has more attack and more money, but I have more defense just sort of lying around, right? So I have sort of the lead in threatening to breach his Odin. Because he has to take pretty drastic measures to get to mine. I have these walls and these Deadeyes. But I think I need to keep putting on the pressure or it's not going to work. Right, like once he's down to $11 next turn for double wall, it's going to be kind of tough for him, isn't it? Well, I was hoping to build Splitter Galvani here. The question is, can I defend this? Like, can he take this gambit? Attack with everything? I'm attacking for 9 again next turn. If he's clicked all of his attackers, and he has nothing but these 9 drones, the only way to defend 9 attack is by holding them. So... Like this, if he breaches, I get to breach as well. And I get to kill some drones, or maybe the Odin if he doesn't hold enough drones. Plus, I get another Deadeye back. I think I'm going to try this. It also, like, turns off the Galvani's, which is a big deal. So he can also, of course, defend by not attacking with everything. But that is a problem for him as well. Right, what just happened this turn? I traded my Steel Splitter for his Steel Splitter. I think is what happened. Five is losing wall. I can trade Steel Splitters if I want. Actually, 4 is losing wall. This is losing wall and splitter. Does he just like have enough drones to hold? Is that what's happening? Because now I'm trading Steel Splitter for wall. It's not a good deal. Or for wall Engie. It's not going to work out for me. So I can hold back the Odin and just build a splitter. But now I'm killing an Engie and he's killing a wall. Doesn't seem like a great deal to me. What can I do with this? Like, I think this is just sort of losing eventually, right? I kill 2 Engies, he kills, like, a wall and an Engie. It's not going to work out, right? If I do this, it puts him under some pressure, right? And this lets him breach for an Odin, so it's not so great. I guess I would have to build a wall. Then if he clicks everything, he does breach. But again, it's sort of hard for him to do that. I think he's going to decline, but I'm still just like not making any real progress. I'm just sort of dwindling my splitter count. And the splitters are all I have. Well, the centrifuge into first Odin was a big problem. I don't know if that was what caused me to lose here, or if it was what happened after that when, like, I didn't get Deadeyes very soon and he got more of them. Right, I had to let him get that breach because of... Yeah, I mean, this is game over, right? Why is he even holding the Steel Splitter? He doesn't defend with it, regardless. Yeah, alright. Well, I'll see you later. Yeah, I guess something I didn't really consider about Centrifuge is just like, yes, okay, it gives you less money than it used to, but it's still a money savings because you don't have to buy the 2 Blast Forges, right? That's $10 you're not spending. And that's like what Centrifuge is all about. It wasn't about the modest windfall of gold it gives you. It was about the resources, the tech that you don't have to build. And letting him get out the first Odin, I wasn't really in a position to counter Odin, but I tried to do it anyway. And I think from here I'm probably lost. Maybe from here I was okay. Maybe I could have just, like, not tried to counter Odin, do something with, like, Deadeyes instead. Deadeyes and walls to defend, like, while he's trying to build his economy up and his tech. Just snipe some drones. It would honestly be a lot like what he actually did in the real game, of, like, just hang back, defend, Deadeye the other guy while he exhausts himself clicking his Odins. Or doesn't click the Odin and doesn't really threaten all that much. But I think this line was doomed to fail. Well, at least if you include the Galvani's. If you cut the Galvani's to build, like, engineers or drones, and you build a wall, then I might be, like, kind of defending, and I could still get out Blast Forge or two to use Deadeyes. Yeah, that would have been more promising. I don't know. I just, like, I'm not very comfortable with the new Centrifuge, and I don't know when it's going to work, how it's going to work. It seems like it should work for Odin in this set, but I was like, well, but it costs you gold, right? So does it not work? But that's just the case in all cases, right? Centrifuge always costs you gold, and yet it's still often a good unit. And I should just look at it here and be like, yeah, Odin, right? That's a unit you want to Centrifuge out, usually. So I should have just worked more on, like, how to produce a Centrifuge line that gets Odin, which I don't know exactly how to do. Just think it through. Oh well, so a rough session for sure. But that's 2 games. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.